to Aliyah 6 of Parsha Lech Lecha, Genesis 15:7 through 17:6. My name is Mike Koplitz, and I am happy that you are here, and I am blessed by your being here. So Abram requested a sign from God that his descendants would inherit the land of Canaan. And God responded in the famous covenant between the parts. Abram and the divine presence passed between an assortment of halved animals. And God told Abram that his descendants would be exiled in bondage for 400 years. At the conclusion of that period, Abram's descendants would leave the land with great wealth. God would punish the nation which enslaved them, and the children, Abraham's children, would inherit the land of Canaan. Following this pact, Sarai, seeing that she and Abram were still childless, suggested that Abram father a child with her Egyptian maid Hagar. Hagar conceived, bore a son, named him Ishmael. And Sarai began to mistreat her, and eventually Abram was told by her to send Hagar away. Some cultural points. Semitic people have always practiced polygamy in ancient days. Semitic people had always practiced polygamy in ancient days. Abram, he was the emir of his tribe, so he was entitled to as many wives as he needed. Therefore, when Sarai told him to take Hagar as his wife, it was legal. The laws of Moses had not been instilled yet, not going to happen for 400 more years. Therefore, Abram was not under any obligation not to have a second wife. So he takes Hagar, we call her a concubine, and of course she conceives and a son is born. Now Ishmael was to become a wild man. His name tells us that. And when Sarah told Abram to get rid of Hagar and Ishmael, they went into the desert. Ishmael ended up creating his own tribe, and this tribe became great fighters. To survive in the desert as nomads, the tribe had to be comprised of warriors. Desert tribes would raid and plunder each other in those days all the time. It was the birth of Islam that the desert tribes came together and stopped attacking each other. Well, the Lord spoke to Hagar when she was driven into the desert, and the Lord's angel assured Hagar that her unborn child would become the leader of a new tribe. The angel directed Hagar to a well so that she could get the water she needed, because they were pretty thirsty in the desert. The ancient Hebrews believed that the Lord created the heaven and earth. It was the Lord who sent the rain and caused the plants to grow. They knew that the Gentile gods and goddesses, they weren't real. They were just stone and wood. The Lord became known as the God of power, of might, and strength. Thus, a name for the Lord became El Shaddai, which means the God of power. The Hebrews knew that El Shaddai did not have eyes or ears, but saw and knew everything that happened on earth. He was spiritual, of course. In the Near East, people were known by their first name. The family name was used when deeds or documents were created. If there were two people with the same name, then they would refer to themselves as the son of or the daughter of the father's name. So Abram would have been called Abram, son of Terah. The Lord changed Abram's name to Abraham because he was the father of the faithful. Sarai's name was changed to Sarah, which actually means a princess of God. I will point out again that you should download the PDF. You can find it on the page that you found this video on if you came from the website. If not, come visit the website. It's important that you download the PDF because there's so much more information in there that I can go through. We can take a moment here and ask ourselves, what can we learn today from this particular story? So let me spend the last couple minutes going over that with you, and hopefully it'll give you an appreciation of what's happening. So the modern view of the cut animals and the smoking pot is that the Lord said to Abram that one day he would walk in his blood. That's God's blood. That's the meaning of it. Now, Christianity uses this interpretation to see that when Jesus Christ was on the cross, God walked through his own blood. But it's only in John's gospel that blood is mentioned on the cross. A guard took a spear, stabbed Jesus' body to see if he was alive. Because of the Sabbath, they wanted to kill the prisoners that were up on the crosses. But when this soldier stabbed Jesus in his side, water and blood gushed out of him. Therefore, modern Christianity has this connection to blood. For Judaism, this event is cultural because covenants were created in blood. It is a symbolic event and should be viewed that way. The Lord reaffirmed the covenant with Abram in several different ways. And each time the connection between God and Abram got stronger. So God bless you for listening to this video. I hope it has blessed you in some way. And we are in number 6, so there's only one more to go. So God bless you. And as always, shalom.